So, Key, who is the biggest winner of the Aaron Rodgers signing?
The team. The team. They got the quarterback. They were waiting around for a couple months, and they finally landed their prize quarterback. So they're extremely happy about getting him in the fold because it was once upon a time that no one really knew what Aaron Rodgers would do, right? 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Is he on a retreat somewhere? Is he in a dark room? Did he go to Egypt again? Like, people just didn't know. But they actually got the quarterback, so the team wins in this situation. They don't have to worry about starting with Mason Rudolph.
Man, the team, I'm trying to tell you, Mike Tomlin won. He was over there sweating. I don't know what. He didn't know who his quarterback was going to be. DK, he a big winner because he got a quarterback somebody can throw to. Because, like, you don't make a signing like that and be like, dang, who going to throw me the ball? You know what I'm saying? You know, he's been left out of the premier wide receivers, you know, last year. When we talk about the top guys, and now that he has Aaron Rodgers, we could probably start putting him back in that conversation if things go right there in Pittsburgh, because DK is an elite talent, still one of the game's best, I believe, and now he has a quarterback so he can show people.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers because he won 5 games last year, and someone still wants him to be their starting quarterback. He can finish his career with a good culture and a solid defense. He'll have an opportunity to walk out of the league with some sort of resolution to what happened in New York. And he has a real opportunity to win. Now, I think their ceiling is a playoff win, but that's certainly much better than a lot of places that he could have ended up. I don't think they're real, Super Bowl contenders, and they're in a better situation than the Jets were last year. Not that the Jets are in this year, but than the Jets were last year. And Pittsburgh was going to have a winning season with whoever they had at quarterback.
See, I think they are Super Bowl contenders.
Who, Pittsburgh?
I just think they are. Because you just said it, right? They're going to playoffs no matter who the quarterback is. And
No. That is not what I said.
What did you just say?
They're going to have a winning season.
Okay, so a winning season typically means playoffs for Pittsburgh Steelers. That's typically what it means.
They're not the same thing.
That's typically what it means, is that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a winning season, they go to the playoffs.
It just means that you don't have a losing season.
Okay. They're in a better position, Joy, than they were last season with him at the quarterback spot, and they made the playoffs. So I think he gives them an opportunity, because once you're in the tournament...
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is better than Justin Fields and Russell Wilson?
I honestly do.
Right now.
I honestly do. Watching him the last...
Did we start early?
4 games...
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
No, I haven't started drinking. Stop. But if you look at the play of Russell Wilson down the stretch...
Three good plays.
There we go.
Down the stretch, it just wasn't there.
The pass.
Russell Wilson wasn't there last.
It wasn't there at the stretch. He got better. This dude, we watch it. Look at that throw. Oh, my God. Look at that throw.
I know, I've seen it.
And look at the walk.
We run the 3 highlights over and over again.
Doesn't matter.
I've seen
I just think they got better at the quarterback spot, and so did the Steelers. That's why they sat around and waited. What are you looking at me like that for?
I mean, we're gonna see. I'm fascinated to see how it all how it all plays out.
Man, that's not his fault.
What's it?
That's his fault.
That wasn't his fault.
No,
See,
I'm
not worried about him throwing interceptions. He's never been a big interception guy.
See, he can't do.
I'm worried about everything
else. He can't do
else.
nothing with that.
And I'm worried about the Bills, and I'm worried about the Bengals, and I'm worried about the Ravens.
Now, I understand.
And I'm worried about the Texans,
I understand that
and
there's
I'm worried about
other.
the Jets, and I'm worried about the Dolphins.
I understand that there's other teams, Joy, in the AFC conference.
Chiefs and the Chargers and the Broncos.
I get it. However, that team with Mike Tomlin and a quarterback that can do just enough.
I have heard that statement. If I had a quarter for every time I heard that statement.
But it's true. It's true.
I could buy us a dinner.
He's definitely better than Fields.
Well, Fields didn't get a chance to play it all the way out.
He went 4-2.
But he didn't get a chance to play all 17 games.
He's better at what?
First of all, he can process the information a lot faster, okay, because he's been there, seen it, done it. He understands the defense by far better than Justin Fields would at this point in his career. At least that's what I would think for a guy that's 20-something seasons in, okay, and started quarterback 4-time MVP. He could be able to dissect a defense with no problem at all.
Is the brain transferring to the body as fast?
Yeah, but he's not in a position where he needs to take off and run. He's got to get the football out of his hands. And as long as they can run the football and play defense, they're going to be fine with him because he's not going to make those mistakes that Russell Wilson made in the end. Russell Wilson was making some crazy, like, head scratches.
They have a chance. They got to look like that Peyton Manning Denver team.
Well, that's
Peyton Manning.
That Peyton Manning Denver championship team. Anybody could have played quarterback that. That's
what they got to look
but
like.
But he isn't going to be as bad as Peyton Manning was his last year in Denver. Peyton Manning wasn't good. He just wasn't good. Wasn't good.
He's good enough to win.
Yeah, because he was on the team with a solid defense.
That's what we're talking about with Pittsburgh.
Well, the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers, and he'll face them in Week 8 this season. Green Bay head coach Matt LaFleur said it'll be a great challenge facing Rodgers because, quote, he'll be telling everyone our signals. Rodgers will also face his most recent team, the Jets, in Week 1. So, Paul, should Rodgers be more excited to play the Jets or the Packers?
If I'm Rodgers, now the Jets game is
Week
going to
1.
be in Pittsburgh, right?
No,
it's in New York.
It's in New York?
We're going. Hello. Wake up.
Okay, that's right. And then the Packers game is not in Green Bay, right? That's at home for them.
Packers game
The Packers
is
game
in Green
is
Bay.
at home.
Oh, it's at home.
It's Sunday Night Football at
So,
home.
like, if I was Rodgers and I was playing in Green Bay, I'd be excited. But since the Jets is coming here, I'm going to have more incentive to whoop them. Because they're going to have me come out here and fly out here to let me know that I'm not on the squad no more.
Could have did that on the text.
You could have zoomed that. If you wanted to see the look in my eye, you could have FaceTimed me something.
Yeah.
Don't have me fly across country or wherever he was at to come in there to let him know, like, we won't be needing your services and walk out. Like,
So
come on.
is that what you prefer as a player? Like, would you rather have someone call you or would you rather have them say it to your face?
Put it on Twitter. Don't have me fly out. Like, say it to my, like,
you don't want a face-to-face meeting? Because I feel like it's, in some ways, people
because
think
like a
it's disrespectful
face-to-face
not to
meeting,
say it to
I
your
feel like
face.
a face-to-face meeting means that we're going to talk about what we're going to do next year, and I'm coming back. Like a face-to-face, like, you could call me and be like, look, we won't be needing your services. And I'll be like, cool.
Yeah,
But do you think it's disrespectful to not say it to his face?
No, I don't think it's disrespectful. In the times we live in, like, you talk to people online every day, multiple people now.
Every team I ever left, it was over the phone.
Yeah, and this is not in the social media era.
So you think it was disrespectful that they brought him out?
Just send me my stuff in a box. We cool.
Tell the equipment
I'ma holler
man.
at y'all. Yeah, tell the equipment man to send my packet up and just FedEx it to me. I'm
Right.
good. You know, I don't need to talk to you.
So
What I need to talk to you
should he
for?
be more excited to play the Jets or the Packers?
He should be excited to play the Jets because the Packers, he left on his own, essentially. He created that exit for himself. The Jets, on the other hand, my dude AG was like, man, okay, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Sit right here. I'm going to look at the general manager. And he can make it official. Since you don't want me to make it official for you, I'll let the general manager make it official for you, even though I'm running the show. Come on, hold on one sec. Came back down the hall. They told him, said, man, we don't need your services no more.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't need you no more.
That's crazy.
Who needs you, man? That's basically.
They just walked out, jumped in the car, and went back to
kept
the
it
airport.
pushing. And they went back to their meeting room and was working on whatever game plans they was working
Talking
on.
their game plan, they was like, hold on, Rodgers here. Hey, Mr. Rodgers, real quick.
Yeah.
Now, we don't need you. All right, so back to our meeting.
I think it's the Packers. I think the Jets will end up being a
No, but the Jets.
footnote in the.
The Jets did him a little
He won 5 games.
dirty.
He won 5 games.
Yeah,
He won
but
5 games in 2 years.
He honestly thought
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But he
5.
honestly thought, though, Joy, he was going to be a Jet. He really believed that. That's why he got on the plane. He really believed.
Someone should have sent him the 5. Just in
I understand, but he
you know
really
what should have sent him in the
believed-
mail? A big 5.
But he really believed in the heart of his heart, Joy, was that he was going to be a New York Jet. That's why he got on the plane. Because if you know you're not going to be, you like Paul said, man, come on, man. I'll talk to y'all. I'll see y'all on vacation. I'm running y'all to the hotel or something.
But this is how I look at it, though. Like, all sarcasm aside. If we were to assume that this is Aaron Rodgers' last season in the league, which I think is pretty safe, then that Packers game is significant on the schedule. Like, that's kind of his goodbye.
But it'll mean
to
more
the-
in Green Bay.
It will.
So he can get a stand.
It will, but it will. But there will be a lot of Packers fans there. It's Sunday Night Football. There'll be a lot of montages on the broadcast. Like, it'll be a lot of conversation about what he did there. Like, I think that game is more significant, even though it is in Pittsburgh, than the Jets game week 1.
Yeah, but week 1 is opening week 1 season of the National Football League. A team that told you you're no good. Goodbye.
He won 5 games.
Yeah, but in his eyes, it wasn't his fault that they won only 5 games.
I need those glasses. Dak Prescott is a big fan of his newest wideout, George Pickens. Dak thinks Pickens got a bad rap in Pittsburgh and had great things to say about him.
Huh?
Is Dak right about his new Cowboys teammate, George Pickens, Key?
Yeah, and I know the narrative is out there about George Pickens being whatever you want to call him. That's the furthest thing from the truth, though. He's a good football player that at times may have gotten frustrated on the field, so those things got the best of him. But what happens is the narrative, you do some things, but that narrative is created a lot of times by the media, especially by people who are calling the game, because they emphasize things and make it sound like he's a terrible person to the point of no return. That's the way it happens. I know firsthand, okay, at playing the position. Remember, I can speak wide receiver language with the best of them.
You are the spokesperson for outrageous wide receiver behavior.
And a lot of times you do some things in your actions, and then they take it and they twist it up and make it sound like you just, off the field, you just doing the worst.
Well, off the field's never been a conversation with George.
They got no issues off the field.
But they don't say that when they tee it up.
They call him a hot head, a detriment to the team.
And they make it sound as though he's got all these issues packaged up on and off the field. And that's not true.
But off the field is not an issue.
No.
Do you think how he's behaved on the field has been an issue?
He could have hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers team in many different ways by some of the things that he has done on the field. But a lot of that is frustration. I'm dealing with these janky-ass quarterbacks, number one. Mm-hmm. They ain't trying to put the football in my hands all the time. Just things like that can be frustrating on how you're being communicated to, okay, number one. And so, yeah, he could grow up and be a little more mature on the field. There's no question about it. And I think when you have the presence of veteran players in your unit, meaning on the offensive side of the ball, that goes a long ways in helping you mature to understand certain things. That team is a defensive-oriented team in Pittsburgh. Who could he talk to on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah.
There's nobody over there. I mean, you look at them dudes, man, get away from me. But in defense, that's not the case. He basically was the guy. I mean, you think he really, what's Russell Wilson going to tell him? Be honest, let's keep it a buck. Russell Wilson ain't going to tell him, hey, man, nobody don't, no, he don't want to hear that. He going to look at Russ and be like, but you got CeeDee Lamb, okay?
Yeah.
You got Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
You got Micah Parsons. Like, you got some veteran dudes that can put their arms around him.
Yeah, the question has never been about his talent. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, they realize he's a great player, so why not keep him? Sometimes you need to change cultures, and that's what's best for both organizations. He's in the locker room with Dak Prescott, well-respected in that locker room. CeeDee Lamb, well-respected. And sometimes a player like that needs a clean slate. He's not going to go in there and be the same player he was in Pittsburgh. He was frustrated, like he says. But when you get around veteran guys like this, when you get around a brand like the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and you see what type of organization and you see what's going on around there, you can straighten up. You can straighten up because now you feel like, all right, I got a new slate. I could be one of the best in the game. Sometimes it's about your attitude change because it's never about his talent.
I got to ask you to throw me the football? Like, seriously?
Saying
like, I shouldn't
this from
have
a guy that says throw me the damn ball.
No, I shouldn't have to ask you to throw me the ball. I shouldn't have to. I should be the number one in the pecking order. I shouldn't be playing around. Those are the sort of things that will make a guy like that frustrated in the situation.
Yeah, I mean, his character off the field was never a question. He definitely had moments where he was clearly not locked in mentally with what the Pittsburgh Steelers were doing. And the quarterback situation, I think, is fair. I think he's in a much better situation as far as having veterans around him. He's not going to have to be the number one guy because of CD. He has to respect what Dak has done in the league. So I think it's a better situation for him. We'll see what he does this year.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.